Hello, everyone. Welcome to Catfish Weekly. This is episode 47 with the Catfishing Duo. We have Justin Connor and Tabitha Linville on here with us. You might know them on Facebook as the Catfishing Duo. Been really tearing up the fish here lately. So, welcome to you guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
No problem. We might lose them throughout the night. We don't know. We did just lose them once before. If that happens, we'll just try to get them back on. If not, we'll just talk like we normally do. But we have all kinds of questions for them. Basically, gonna pick their brain, all the information we can get out of them, what they're doing, what they're not doing, how they're doing it. If they're holding their mouth right, as if that's the secret, I mean, we gotta figure it out because we all want to catch them fish like they're doing. So, Lyle, Chuck, how you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Doing great.
Good to hear. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and let Chuck start you off on some questions for you guys, and we'll ask if the people in the chat, if you guys have any questions for Justin or Tabitha, go ahead and post them up in the chat, and we'll try to get to them as we can.
How y'all doing tonight, Tabitha and Justin?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, good. What's that river y'all fish on there in West Virginia? Your favorite little river y'all fish all the time?
Well, we fish we got the Canal River right here real close to the house. We fish it probably 4 or 5 days a week. We got the Ohio River, just probably 45 minutes away from us. We fish it a lot too.
But what is this the one by your house? Is this the one that they just started stocking with blues recently?
Yes, actually they just started stocking. They've been stocking them for several years now in the Ohio and the Canal, and we're just now seeing. We was out Saturday and caught a bunch of baby blue cats that we think are last year's hatch, and we're pretty excited about that.
All right. So you still chasing that state record?
I go out 4 or 5 days a week to try and get it, and it outsmarts me every time. I haven't been able to capitalize on it.
How close you come so far?
We've been 48 pounds, 49 pounds, several in the high 40s. We've been within 2 pounds several times.
But was that before the most recent catch, or was that back when it was on the last record?
Well, the last record we had, it's funny, a buddy of mine had caught it, and like the week prior, he had caught a 52-pound blue, and it was 44 pounds before that. And the week after that, we caught a 48-pound blue cat.
Oh, so yeah, they're out there. Y'all just gotta locate them and get them.
Yeah, we've been trying really hard.
Are these coming mostly out of your local river? Y'all going up in the Ohio River to?
Yeah, most of these are coming off of the lower Canal River. The average fish that blue cat that we're catching right now is in the mid-20s. The hatch has been the ones that they stocked has really taken off, and just about every blue cat you catch is in between 20 and 30 pounds. So we have a good time when we go catching them.
That's great. How long you had your Sea Arc Pro Cat?
About 3 years now.
What did you fish out of before you got it?
Off the bank.
Oh, really? You didn't have a boat at all before you
Actually,
got it?
I had never been on the river before in a boat.
Did we just lose them?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Virginia's doing really great with their blue cat fisheries up there. I'm very impressed with the way they're
Well,
working.
they got the people that's taking care of that doing a good job. I mean, they're not just messing around with it, calling them invasive species and junk fish and stuff. They actually want those fish to be there. They want to draw in the tourist people to come out there and fish. They want to get the tournament guys in there. They're trying to do it correctly, and a lot of these other states need to step up and look at what they're doing and see what they're missing out on.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
And
Have you?
I'm not sure what their conservation department or DNR is called out there, but kudos to them guys for stepping up because and like Alabama has done that the guides are busy, the motels are full. The lake's busy year round, and that's what these places that don't want to put these regulations in effect, that's what they're missing out on, and they're actually they're hurting their small business people that are trying to make a living.
That's right. Hey,
Yeah,
Fudd, have you fished that part down in West Virginia? Any that part of the Ohio River? Any?
nope. I've been real excited to. I mean, from the flatheads to the blues and everything that I've been seeing. Same river, just upriver enough to where they're protected and they're really starting to flourish right now. You're starting to see, like you were just talking about, the records being broke and people catching, fish within 2 pounds. That lets you know that the fact that they're still, they're continuously being caught in that area lets you know that that stretch of the water is really doing, it's flourishing well. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's not hurting because of the commercial fishing going on, limb lining, things like that. I mean, all those things. It isn't always just commercial fishermen. It can be the guys running the banks, putting 65 lines up, bank lines or bank poles as they call them. I don't know if anybody's ever seen them. They're basically like a thin PVC pipe that the guy will go along and just sort of stick right in the side of a bank and tie a hook off on the end of it, almost like the way if you guys watch like the Swamp People or anything, the way they do them alligator poles. They kind of do the same thing for catfish poles in some stretches of rivers and things like that, and all that, taken into consideration, the commercial fishing and the bank poles and all that can really wreak havoc on a population of catfish. I mean, it's if it's not handled, if it's not under control and managed and all that, unfortunately, we as humans just we're always at a tendency to uh, over consume or over harvest. So
Yeah, those fiberglass rods that they use are usually about a half inch in diameter, and I think they come 10 or 12 foot in length, and they cut them to fit. But you know, them guys like that, and there's nothing wrong with catching fish like that to eat. Nobody that I know of really complains about it. It's the over harvest and the commercial guys that are they're catching too many numbers of the breeding size fish. But for a guy that wants to go out and invite his family over and cook up some fish, that's a great way to come up with some fish to eat. Because everybody doesn't have the time to go out and sit in a boat or on the bank and catch a bunch of fish. But the ones that really get me are the guys that are commercial fishing and getting to these pay lakes. And the one thing that I really have as a pet peeve of mine is the guys that go out and they stock their freezers up, and then when spring rolls around, they still got it full, and they throw all them away and start that process over again. There's just no sense in doing that.
yeah, I hear you, Lyle. We got them back, so I'll go ahead and every time we get them back on, we'll try to get the if we lose them multiple times, we'll try to just go pick back up where we left off. So Chuck, if you got I don't know if you left off at a certain spot or you have more questions for him, you can go ahead and start back up.
Yeah, we was talking about the Sea Art Pro Cat. He said he had never fished out of a boat before or whatever. He went and got one. Tell us more about that, Justin.
Yeah, up until the day I actually got my boat, I had never been in a boat or on the river or anything. And I decided I was going to get I really wanted a Pro Cat 240. And everyone always told me if you're going to get a boat, make your first boat your last boat. So we went ahead and got the Pro Cat, and I'm very, very happy with it.
Nobody told me that.
How do y'all have y'all's camera mounted in your boat? It looks like you've got it mounted pretty high at a downward angle where you have it all covered. What are you using to mount your camera on?
We actually have two different mounts. We have one that Justin made like a piece of aluminum off the side of our boat, and so we have it like tilted out so you can see like inside the boat and like the outside angle, and then we have one on the very top where our light is, and we just bought the little connectors and have it from the top.
Oh, good. It's y'all getting some really good footage. I can't wait till y'all get the rest of your videos done. Yeah, Leanne was talking about she loved the one where Tabitha caught a real big fish and Justin walked over and put his arm around her and then gave her a big hug and patted her on the shoulder. That was great.
Yeah.
We really enjoy watching that stuff. So,
Well, good.
all right, well, okay, well I'm through. I'll pass it on to one of the other guys, and it was great asking you some questions.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead there, Law.
Well, we're glad to have you guys on here. I know we've been working at this a couple of weeks, and it's awesome that you guys was able to join us tonight. I'm going to touch on a couple of different things away from the boat and fishing type stuff. We'll get into that in a second, but many people know that I do most of my tournament fishing and fun fishing with Cindy, and you know, I personally am impressed by the way you guys do that. You know, you all get along, and you know, for us it seems like what the other one's getting ready to do, the other guy knows what they're doing, and I can see that in your videos that you guys have been fishing together long enough that you got a pretty good idea what one's going to do, the other needs, or vice versa, and for me personally, that makes it really easy to be able to go and be competitive. Do you all find that to be the case?
Yeah, we got a system down pat. Like, we kind of like click. It's really hard for me to fish with anybody else after I fished with Tabby, because when I'm doing something like, say I'm throwing an anchor, she's back there getting the drift socks or throwing the back anchor. Or if I'm getting the rods ready, she's cutting bait and putting it on the hooks for me and cast them out. We always got something going on. We always work together, and we work together really well, actually.
And that's the way it is with us, and I think that's from being together enough and spending enough time together. You know, each one of you know what to expect out of the other, and it just works out good. I know that last year Tabitha went with, I believe it was your dad, Justin, and fished a tournament when you couldn't get off work. That in itself was pretty impressive, and I don't know as far as everybody else, but I know I watched that tournament very close to the outcome and how that was. Did you have an input on where they fished or how they approached that tournament, or did you just let them go out and do it by yourself?
To be honest, that was a pool that we hadn't even fished.
Well, we fished it one time at night time, and he sent me with, I think, 3 waypoints, and I can't see at night anyway, so I couldn't remember where anything was. It was interesting.
Well, you guys done really good, best I remember. I mean, you was in the top 5 or something like that, weren't you?
Yeah, we did really good. We were surprised that we did so well. Not pre-fishing or anything, which we always pre-fish, but we didn't get to that weekend.
Right, that was pretty cool. Now, Tabitha, was you down at the Monsters last year?
No, I didn't get to go. He fished with another guy that has a sea arc around here.
Right, I knew that he fished with someone else, but I didn't know if he was there or not. But I don't know how we missed connecting with each other when we was down there. I told Justin some time back that, you know, I thought I made it a point there. I had a list of people that I wanted to visit with when I was down there. Somehow we missed getting together, but you know, next time we'll be sure and do it. But are you guys planning on fishing that together next year?
Yep.
Yeah, we're already paid, and I think we're boat number 24 or something like that. Charles Scott Manning from Tennessee River Monsters paid our entry already, so
yeah, he's a really good sponsor for you guys. It's great to have somebody like that on board.
I tell you, it'd be hard to do it without him. He helps us out tremendously, and it's hard for us to go around and fish these big tournaments with her always farming, and I'm the only one working, and it costs a lot of money to go around the places. And,
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, when you say farming, are you talking about gardening, or are you talking about farming?
she does it all.
I do it all. We have beef cattle, and we did have pigs, but we don't now. And we have 4 gardens, so we're pretty busy.
It sounds like it. Somebody's up of just too loud. Somebody turn it down just. I know that it's not just Chuck and Chris and I that watch you guys. I know there's a lot of other people that watch us too. Are you still there? Okay, there.
Yeah.
You know, with these guys all watching you guys and seeing where you're going with your catfish stuff, is there any one thing that you attribute success with?
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you. You broke up.
Somebody, we got feedback of somebody volume being too loud. Is there any one thing that you attribute to success you're having?
Can you guys hear me all right?
I can hear you, but he breaks up every time I hear him.
Can you lower your volume a little bit on your computer?
Okay, is that good?
Well, I think we're getting feedback, so
How about
we're
that?
hearing ourselves. Try again, Lyle.
I still hear you.
I lowered mine. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a little bit high. But what I'm saying is with the success you guys are having, is there any one thing you attribute to the success level?
I would say we just fish all the time.
Time on the water really helps us out. I take my boat to work with me 4 or 5 days a week, and the Ohio River's right there. I spend a tremendous amount of time on the water. I've had my boat for 3 years, and I've almost got 700 hours on just the motor. I spend a lot of time on the water.
That's good. That's
And fresh bait is absolutely key. We've been out 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning before a tournament getting fresh bait. If we don't have fresh bait, we don't even fish.
So, right now, are you looking at fresh jack or fresh shad?
We're using fresh shad right now.
Now, you have skipjack, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there's some areas in the United States that there is not shad.
Yes.
We have a whole lot of shad, but skipjack's kind of hard to come by unless you get them married at the right time.
Yeah, that's the way it is around here. Chris, why don't we see if you can visit with them and get away from some of this feedback?
I think it's doing it with me too.
Oh, okay.
But I think I sound a little better on there. I was going to ask you guys, who got you both started in fishing?
Who got you started? Really? My mom, my dad, nobody fishes in my family. I got a creek just behind the house, and I used to live in it. I come home from school, and I go out and play in the creek and fish in the creek, and then we used to go camping a lot, and they would get campsites right beside the water, and I would sit beside the water and never leave it until we went home. I just kind of taught myself everything I know, and then had several guys that's helped me out, and Steve Douglas's videos has helped us out tremendously, and we've just been trying to learn as we go.
How long have you been doing it?
We've been river fishing for 3 years now,
3 years.
off a boat, yeah.
Okay. What's the best tournament you've been to and why?
Did you say the best tournament we've been to?
Yeah, and why?
The best tournament I've been to is Monsters on Ohio. It's absolutely a very well-ran tournament. It's very professional and it's really nice.
We also did the Sea Art tournament the year, not this past summer, but the summer before, and it was really well ran too. It was in Owensboro as well.
Now, is there any big tournaments that are around you that you guys really have to, you're going to fish every year and that you think that other people should come and fish?
The Bend Area Care Tournament, which is in Mason, West Virginia, we're going to do that, and the Cabela's Charleston tournaments and Gallup tournaments, and there's a few other ones that's really big that we're going to try to do this year.
Chad Wall from Chad asked if you guys do prefer to anchor or drift.
Anchor.
We anchor fish 99.9% of the time. We very rarely drift fish.
Now, do you sit at a spot for 30 minutes and move if you don't catch a fish, or do you give it longer?
15 to 20 minutes is about our tops.
It really just depends on what the fish is doing. Sometimes you've got to set on them for a while to get them to bite, but we fly head fish a lot. That's our main thing, really. And we'll pull up on some structure and anchor down and cast out in 15, 20 minutes. If something ain't in there biting, we don't wait for it to come to us. We'd go somewhere else and try to find something else to fish.
Who pulls the anchor?
I do. But we have an anchor buoy, so it don't make it too bad. And we also have the electric winch for the back.
Oh, yeah. What do you think helps you guys succeed when others fail?
I think our time on the water really helps us out. I get a good idea of what the fish are doing before a tournament. Time on the water, and I think fresh bait really helps us tremendously. I mean,
now when you say time on the water, are you really figuring out what the fish specifically are doing, or are you finding specific holes where they always seem to be in one hole or the other?
Well, a little bit of both. I go out and look around, try to find new stuff to fish, stuff that we haven't fished, and because a lot of our stuff gets hammered anymore. Always out trying to look for something new to fish and see what kind of pattern I can throw together before a tournament, what the fish are doing, and what they're biting on, and so on.
Do you know about how many tournaments you fished this year?
I think it was 33.
You fished 33 tournaments?
It was every weekend from
April.
the third weekend in April to November.
That's quite a few.
Yeah.
What was you guys win? How many of you won?
I don't know. I have to look at my book, but we won several of them. We won.
We won the Bend Area Care. There was 86 boats in it, and I don't know how many of them come.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
There's a bunch.
We won several.
When you go out and you pre-fish, do you really try to catch the fish, or do you wait a certain amount of days beforehand? Do you believe in sore lipping?
Yeah, I believe in sore lipping. I don't fish my fish, my tournament spots that I got planned out. I may fish them a couple weeks prior, see what's there. But I'll fish different areas on the same pool to try and get an idea of what's going on, but I won't fish my spots I usually fish.
Okay.
Hey, Justin, try turning your volume down just a little bit.
I couldn't hear you loud.
Still, it's turn it down ain't really.
We turned it really far down. We can hear everybody but you, Lyle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I believe that's mostly what I had for you. Do you have any big plans for next year?
We got a lot of tournaments we're gonna plan on fishing. Yeah. We just plan on fishing a bunch.
Do you fish for other fish besides catfish at all, or?
Bait. That's about it.
We do lots of bait fishing. Tons of it.
What's your guys' personal best on your flatheads and blues?
My flathead is 50 pounds I caught this year, and then 56-pound blue. But I'm waiting to get that 90-pound one.
What about yourself, Justin?
My biggest blue is 67 pounds. I've got a 57-pound flat.
Now, what bodies of water did you catch these out of?
The flatheads come out of the Canal River. The blue cats come from James River.
Okay. Is there any place that you guys are really wanting to fish that you haven't fished yet?
I would love to fish the Mississippi River. I'd love to go down the Wheeler Lake and give it a whirl. Where you want to go?
Same place.
You guys
Anywhere
have any plans to come to that Wheeler tournament?
I'd like to. It's just so close to Christmas, and
Yeah.
we got so much going on, and kind of bad timing for us.
Rob asked if you've ever forgotten your fish finder.
Last week, Saturday.
Actually, that's not the first time. Don't let him fool you.
See if I can see any other questions in here. They did ask about you were catching some 20-pounders, which were recent catch. I would ask about how fast do you think the fish are growing in your pools of water?
They're taking off really good. Yesterday I caught a 41-pound blue. This in the past year we've caught 3 blues over 40. We've caught tremendous amount of them in the 30-pound range. They're really taking off fast. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't stock these things till 2006, I think, 2005, something like that.
And they stocked them in a certain amount of over.
They stock them every October, and they're finger lengths. They're only about 6 to 9 inches long.
Is that the Ohio or that Canal?
That's the Canal and the Ohio.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I was going to ask about your sponsors. What all sponsors do you have now? And are you looking at any new ones for next year?
We got Rob with Whiskerware. Get your catfish on. And we got Scott Manning from Tennessee River Monsters is a huge help to us. That's all we got. We're always open for more.
We'd love to have Trocar because that's the kind of hooks we use, and they are so expensive, but it's the only hooks we use.
What kind was that?
Trocar.
Oh, yes.
They're the best out there.
Those are Eagle Claw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not disagree with that.
Would you guys say you use like a Carolina rig when you're fishing?
Yeah, we'll use Carolina rig and 3-way rig. Every now and then we'll do a little bit of dragging. Use a Santee rig.
All right. Well, we're getting a lot of people saying that the feedback's pretty bad, so we're going to go ahead and let you guys get off here. I think if anybody else has any questions for them, you guys can ask them now, but if not, we're going to go ahead and let you guys go. Chuck, Lyle?
I don't have anything more for them, but thank you guys for being on the show tonight. I know we worked on it a few weeks before we made it happen, but thanks a bunch. We really enjoyed having you on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
No problem. We'll try to get you guys worked out so we don't have the feedback and get you sometime. And hopefully we'll be on a whole show.
That sounds good.
Thanks guys for coming on. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Later, guys.
All right. We apologize, everybody. I understand that was difficult to understand and make out what was being said there. We didn't have any of that problem during the pre-show or anything like that, so I don't know if it was a lack of internet or something that made it degrade over time. But again, we apologize. They were great to have on the show here. Uh,
Well,
you
we can
know,
get them back. You know. I know. I talked to them both for the last week or so, and they bought a new computer before, with a webcam before I tried to get in touch with them, and the new computer's going, but the webcam didn't work. So they went to Justin's mom, and was on her laptop, and for some reason they just couldn't get the thing regulated to where it wouldn't get all that feedback.
yeah, and the people in the chat, Jackite, they say they definitely appreciate Justin and Tabitha sharing their pictures and their videos on Facebook with everybody else.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. The videos are amazing. Them guys work really well together. They really do.
yeah, and like you were talking about, you know, my wife can't, she works all the time. She can't fish with me on a regular basis, but when she does, I mean, we've been together for 20 years. When you're around somebody for that long, you. I mean, you don't have to talk to them. Words don't have to be said. You have that ability to just know what the other person's thinking by how, what they're doing with their body, their emotions, everything. That kind of partner makes fishing a whole lot easier, honestly. I mean, because they know exactly what they need to be doing. They know exactly by what your body is saying to them without you saying a word what they should be doing. Um,
You know,
you
I
know,
fished with my kids, and I fished with John. Like I mentioned before, John and I grew up together, and my boys, of course, I raised, and I fished tournaments with them and several other people. And it's not the same as it is with Cindy. It's just not. You know, we, like I say, and they're the same way, and I know Chuck and Leanne's the same way. When you get used to fishing with somebody, you know what each other's going to do. There's no questions. There's no, everybody's got a job, and everybody gets it done.
Rob said my wife's a saint.
He's sucking up for something.
Yeah. Well, she's probably just figuring she has to be. Put up
That
with
may
me.
be.
Brad Dirk said all he would do is fight with his wife. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that
That's
there's
not,
always going to be squabbles, but
that's not that don't happen, because it does.
Oh yeah.
yeah, like Robert said, his girlfriend would go as long as the temp was over 60 degrees, and that my wife would go. She's very cold blooded, but she would go in the middle of winter if I asked her and she had the time. I mean, she just loves to be with me and loves to be fishing and she can't stand the cold. She would prefer it to be 78 degrees and sunny, and I would prefer it to be 60 degrees and cloudy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Or taking off at the Monsters of the Ohio, and you have 40 or 60 boats blowing by you on each side. Leanne was raising Cain, boy. It scared her to death. Cause there ain't nothing you could do. I mean, you couldn't stop, you couldn't go. I mean, you just had to deal with it, and I was fine with it. She just never been through nothing like that, and it scared her pretty good going through all that. But
When we used to have our other boat, that kind of stuff scared Cindy so bad, because it's not near stable. It wasn't as stable in the water as what we have now. But Cindy got to this little thing where she just turns around and watches behind us, and she's telling me if there's a boat coming up on the left or the right, or somebody like Ken Cargill's going to scream by you here in a minute or something. But she just don't look forward really, unless we get in a bunch of Asian carp, and then she's got her nose stuck to that windshield. But for the most part, she don't want to see how fast. This boat doesn't go like the other. The other boat I had run over 65 mile an hour, and she did not want to see what was coming up on us that fast. She just didn't want to see it. And when it was cold, if you turned around, she had her hood up, and that would block a lot of the wind. It just made it more pleasant for her.
oh yeah.
And by the way, an update. I know that John Harden and and Rob Clodfelder and them were talking about the solar bat a few episodes back. I think we talked about the solar bat and the save face, talking about products that are good for cold weather boating up and down a river and stuff to have on your face to help. If a lot of people like myself, glasses on or not, I get going down the river at a certain temp for whatever reason. Even when it's warmer, sometimes my eyes will tear up real bad going down the river. And I see you guys are all giggling at something. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, you got to rate it yourself.
anyway.
Well, I'm anxious to try those when Rob gets that all done up. I think those will be great things. And with a windshield, I don't get the wind as bad as we used to with the other boats, but you still get it. You
Yep.
still get a certain percentage of that wind, and when that wind gets in your eyes and they start watering, you really can't see that good. So I'm anxious to give that stuff a try.
That's what I say. I have a full windshield. I still get it. It's a lot of times, I think the windshield is great, but if you're really going fast, you really need to be able to see as much as possible, especially on a big river where I don't want to be in the water. So a lot of times I stand up and I get the best amount of view that I can, and by doing that, that's your eyes are watering, but you're watching out for. I've seen entire trees. I've seen old boats. I've seen all kinds of crap floating in the river that you can't even tell what it is until you get up on it.
That's right.
And it can, I've never hit anything big, and I hope to God I never do. Because I've felt my boat when I've hit small stuff, and sometimes it's jarred the crap out of me. So, what I was going to say was that John and them were talking about. I guess John Harden had got his. It's a whole solar bat mask, and it has a flip down screen and everything. And when I was talking about the product on that show, I said I was curious on whether or not that would actually work over glasses, because someone like myself wears glasses. It didn't look like it would actually fit over it, because they showed a picture of the guy with it up and having glasses on, but not with it down. When it was down, you could tell he did not have glasses on. They said it does work with the glasses, but I think Rob said they also might have been working to improve upon it a little bit more, even for the glasses wearers, for possibly some new versions of it. But again, I don't want to. I'm not trying to put bad information out. Neither Solar Bat or Save Face is a sponsor of ours. We just talk about something we see and we like and let people know about it. So. I'm not trying to badmouth any one person and up another company or anything like that at all. Just trying to get all the information, correct information that we have out there, and then we can give our opinions on what we like and don't like, etc.
Hey, Chris, I noticed that we have Glenda McFarland online with us tonight, and she said something about what about your ears? I take it with that her ears get cold going down the river. Now, if I'm correct, the Solar Bat product kind of covers your ears up to a certain extent. Is that not right?
It looked like a full hood. I mean, it almost looked like a full, like pulled down, like like a hood that you put on like a winter.
Yeah,
winter
that's what I
hood.
was thinking. So, Glenda, there's your answer. That's what you need to not only keep the wind out of your eyes and the cold. That'll also keep your ears warm. And you just pull your hooded sweatshirt shirt up over top of that, and you're good to go. You get that Solar Bat thing on, and got your eyes covered, your ears covered. You put that Whisker Wear Apparel hooded sweatshirt on, and you should be gold down there in Arkansas. It doesn't get that cold down there anyhow. Well,
yeah, that solar bat, it had a strap in the back, but it looked like it did cover far past your ears though. It looked like a really nice outfit.
Oh, that might be something where we can get one. Maybe if they'd send us one or something, we can maybe do a review on the products or something. I don't know if Save Face, Solar Bat, whatever. Another good, interesting topic that I'd want to find out is the fact of when you have glasses on, when you have a hood on, either the Save Face or the Solar Bat. I know the Save Face actually has one that they call something like a fog resistant or something like that. But when you breathe, a lot of times my glasses and stuff will fog up. If I have a hood on, anything that where my nose, the breath out of my nose will hit and bounce back up into my glasses, it'll fog my glasses. So things like that can't happen either. You know, finding a product that will do everything you need it to do and not, you know, jeopardize you in any other way will be an interesting thing to find out. You know, and that's something that, like, hopefully, you know, we can find a product and let you guys, you know, for the guy, Lyle and Chuck both don't wear glasses, but myself do. You know, we could always test products, you know, things like that in different situations for each of us. You know, we could let one of them use one without glasses and tell, you know, how it works for them without glasses, and I can tell you how it works for me with glasses. So Brian
Well,
and Denise both said that they've hit a playhouse going down the river before in a boat. So I mean, there's some crazy stuff. And what was
I
you about to say
do
there?
I do wear glasses most all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, especially I don't as much out on the river as I do working and stuff. I got to have them to be able to see. But I noticed that Rob Clodfelder had made a post on here that Whiskerwear Apparel will offer the complete line of solar bat fishing glasses and accessories starting January 1st, and he hopes to have a few of the masks to take with him down to Lake Wheeler. So, Rob, just put my name in the hat on a couple of those, and we'll sure try them out. Cindy and I both want one. The whole thing, glasses, thing goes around your ears, the whole deal. Then I can let Glenda know if they keep your ears warm, because I'm sure Cindy would be glad to be in on some of that action. But yeah, make sure to have some for me. But that's just another great product that Rob at Whiskerwear is going to have for everybody. So that'll be awesome that he's going to be able to get involved with that and get them down there for us. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say. Ron Streeter said one of the things you can do also is wear surgeon gloves underneath your regular gloves. Jason Malone, um, he has what's called, like, what are they, nitrile or
Yes.
nitrile gloves. He gave me a box of those. I see, you know, he told me about how he uses them, and he gave me a box of them. He's actually got some in black, and I got, you know, I got the black ones from him, and especially, you know, black will absorb the heat better and everything. But also, like, when I'm using, uh, you know, I'm cutting up bait, things like that, I just leave these gloves on. They keep my hands clean. They don't, where I'm hooking and everything, they don't break or rip very easily. They're actually great gloves. You know, they keep them warm. They keep my hands clean for the most part. I got a whole giant box of them, so, you know, I mean, if I get one wet or whatever, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm also hearing that from Brian and Denise that a good face mask is it's called a Neuro, like a Nuro ski mask. So that's another option possibly.
Well,
Um,
you was talking about the glove thing. That's a great idea. One thing, uh, those nitrile gloves will keep the goop and the guts and stuff off your hands and the fish slime. But one thing that I've noticed over the years, that if you keep them dry, it's a lot easier to warm them up if your hands get cold. Once they get wet, and you move that boat, there's enough wind that them hands, you know, it's just almost impossible to get warmed up without some type of heat. So if you wear those surgeon's gloves or whatever you'd want to call them, if you can wear those and keep them from getting wet in the first place, I think that'd be a great asset to keeping them warm later on in the day.
I think Chuck is frozen because he is on the picture for me. He's frozen with a goofy smile on his face.
Oh, he's moving.
Is he moving for you?
Yeah.
He is stuck on a goofy smile on my screen. It's kind of funny.
No, I got him moving.
All right, we guys got anything else we can talk about? Oh, I can let you guys know right now who I have on the list for the Catfish Weekly Christmas giveaway. I swear I keep seeing the picture of Chuck on my screen. It's too funny. Oh man. Right now, who I have for the Catfish Weekly Christmas giveaway Claude Reynolds, Cameron Allen Young, Gary Turner, David Cope, Justin Browning, Randall McDaniel, Scott Meyer, Troy Hansen, Jason Kindred, Christopher Parker, Jason Huggins, Nick Goodall, Seth McAllister, Jason Malone, Chris Workman, Rena Marie Stitcher, Doug and Kathy, Robert Tallman, Chad Wall, Alan Pickett, Rob Gregg, Mike Huff, Vince Roger, Jason Acock, Jack Height, Tabitha Linville, John Harden, Justin Connor. Now, on some of these names I put a mark on. Justin Connor was one of them. They basically did something that I considered it's a nice post and everything, but it didn't really follow the rules. I have you in the contest, but if you can, go back and read the rules and try to do something a little better. You know, we're really looking for somebody to give us feedback, and that's part of what the rules said. Like I said, you're on here, but if you can go on there and do it a little better and give us, something you'd actually like to see us do differently, or, give us a little bit of feedback that actually helps the show. Justin Connor was one. Next person, Ron Streeter. Josh Quigley, he's another person could go back, give us a little better information. Heather Harden, she's on there, could go back, give a little better information. John Woods, on there, could go back, give a little better information. Jordan Henricks, same thing. Go back, give a little better information. Cad Daly, same thing. Shannon Strokirch, Robert Barges, Scott Woody, Adam Ender. I think I meant Winder. I think I misspelled his name there, but Adam Winder. He's on there. If you can, Adam, go back, give us a little better description of what you'd like to see us do better or have, done on the show or something like that. Justine Moan, Craig Shoemate, same thing. If you can go back, do a little better. And this is all updated as of yesterday. I didn't update it today. So if you posted on there, you did that within the last day or so, and you're not on here, wait until next week's show. I should have you on there for next week, so to update you and let you know who all's in there, who's not. I don't think we've added anything to it since then, but it's still like over a $500 package right now.
Chris?
Yep.
Rob just posted that he will add a solar bat mask to the gift package.
Oh, I just seen that. All right. Awesome. So there you go. There's the solar bat mask that we've been talking about here. That's going to be on there as well. So another addition from Whiskerware Apparel and Rob Clawfelder. Thank you again, Rob. That is awesome. Whoever wins this package, I'm telling you, man, I wish I could enter it. I wish I could win.
I want in. We was talking about the guests and stuff that we have on here earlier. We have a lot of really quality people like Justin and Tabitha was on tonight. I mean, them are great folks. They do a lot of fishing. They're good for the industry. They're really good for everything. But I talked to a gentleman today that I'm very impressed with, and believe me, folks, I'm not just picking people out. When something impresses me or somebody impresses me, I try to let the world know about it. But Craig Shoemate is just a really good guy, good for the sport of catfishing. Him and Andrew Little, which is a very good friend of mine that fishes a lot, went out over the weekend, and Craig sent me some pictures today of some of the fish that they caught on the Missouri River over the weekend, and man, I'm telling you, them guys have got it going on over there. So, Craig, good job. Thanks for the pictures. You need to post some of those up on the Catfish Weekly site for everybody to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure Andrew wouldn't care if you put him on there because them was great fish, and good job.
I don't know what Ron Streeter's talking about. He's asking if he has to wait for 30 days. And
he just won a contest. Does he have to wait to win another one, or can you win back to back?
Oh, no, he could win. He can win again.
Who's this Ronnie Doo-Doo guy who registered to win?
Ronnie Doo-Doo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody trying to...
Hold it. You trying to sneak in on the contest?
Did somebody register that?
I just
Yeah, Runny Doo Doo, he's been missing in action for a while, hadn't he?
I thought he'd come back and register in one of these contests.
Yeah, he should. I bet that guy's lucky. I can just tell. I can tell he gets lucky all the time.
Oh man.
All right. Well, are you guys looking forward to the Wheeler tournament? Is that the next time you're going to be fishing?
Yeah, I don't see me getting out of from behind the barrel on behind any time before then.
Yeah. I'm jonesing for it. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I know that I'm going down with Brian and Denise. We're actually going to stay a couple days longer, a day or two longer. So we're going to be down for a good 4 or 5 days total, and I hope we all catch some really good fish and we have a great time, and I just really can't wait for it, man. I am so excited.
I gotta tell you, I really think unless the weather gets really bad, I think there'll be a lot of good fish caught. I think it'll be a great turnout. I think it's going to be an outstanding tournament. And to tell you the truth, I know with all the number of boats of everybody that says they're going, it should be a pretty decent payout. But I'm thinking that the main thing is people just going to want to get out and go fish.
Yeah. I don't even like I hardly ever care about the money part of it. I think you've even said it before. I'd almost if it was just I was just getting a first place trophy, I'd be okay with that. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
the money is a bonus. I mean, I'm not saying I'm turning it down or anything, but because it's just not about that for me. It's more about the competition, the enjoyment of fishing, um, you know, doing well, catching the fish, and I am very competitive. I love to try to up my game and be competitive with anyone else and do the best I can. Um, and I normally I'm pretty hard on my own worst critic. I try to figure out exactly what I did wrong in the tournament if I didn't do as well as I should have. Um, I mean that's just how I am. I think anybody that is catfishing tournaments and really serious about it is probably going to be like that. I mean, they're definitely going to be a competitive person that you know is doing it to compete, but you never know. I don't know. I do know that you were talking about the fishing. The people going to catch some fish to eat and stuff, and I asked them if they did any other kind of fishing, and I told you before I go crappie fishing quite a bit. I decided that this next year when I'm out on the Ohio River, I'm going to be bringing bags with me. I watched a couple of videos in the past month or so, and I've decided that every single one of them Asian carp that jump in the boat, I'm filleting the backs out of them, and I'm putting them in plastic bags and taking them home. I mean,
Me,
they're supposed to be killed anyway, and from the videos that I watched, it's some of the best fish meat that you could eat. The cleanest. I mean, yeah, you gotta pick some bones out of it. It's not easy to eat, but I don't mind it, and I like fish, so if I bring a few of them home and I like the fish, then I know my kids will eat it. I mean, and so I'm just gonna every single time one of them fish jumps in the boat, I'm gonna fillet the back out of it. I might, take a chunk or two and drain some blood into one bag and use it for bait, but the rest of it's going home and gonna be eaten.
yeah, it's really good bait I heard, and I was watching the river monsters when they were fishing for those big gar in Texas, and that one guy they were interviewing saying he would catch the larger carp and while it was still alive, he would beat on it with a baseball bat and cause real bad internal bleeding, and the blood mixes with the meat real good while the fish is still alive and the blood's pumping, and then when it dies, the and you cut it up for bait, the blood's mixed throughout the whole fish and throughout the meat and everything. So give it a
That's
try.
amazing.
Yeah, beat on it real good. Don't try to bust the gut pocket or anything like that. Just beat down the rib cage, down the tail, cause real bad internal bleeding, get that blood mixed all up with the meat really good, and then when you cut it up, all the blood just won't pour out on the deck of the boat. It'll most of it be mixed up in the meat also.
Yeah, because normally when you cut open the carp, I mean that whole back area, it just it's so white and clean. I mean, even if you hit that vein and stuff, it just I mean it almost seems like they bleed through the skin more than they bleed in the meat. Uh, as soon as they jump in the boat, they start bleeding all over your boat. But the internal meat is just white when you cut into it. So yeah, I mean, if I could have a crowbar or something, a small crowbar or something I could have sitting in my boat and be out of the way, something that when I know I'm going to be in the waters where the Asians are going to be at, then I'll try it. I'll beat them a little bit and see if that works. And did he say about how long you need to sit and let them bleed, or is it just
No, he
that
didn't say. He just said he uses a small baseball bat and he hits them up and down and just lets them die on their own from internal bleeding. And then when he cuts them up for those gar, the meat's real bloody from the blood mixing in the meat really well.
Well,
uh,
now, what I've done with those things is uh, my brother and I go out, we'll take one of our boats out, we'll take everything out of that thing because there is no problem getting them to jump in the boat. And we'll get all of we want, and we'll pull over and we'll side them things off. And when you do, of course, the internal part of the fish a lot of times is exposed, and we'll take one of them big Ziploc bags and pour all the juice or whatever it is off in that bag with that stuff, and and seal it up and then freeze it when we get home. But now I'd never heard about that beating them up and down with the bat thing, and Cindy keeps one of them in there to beat them things off of her when they jump in the boat anyhow, so that'd be easy enough to do.
Yeah, they just say be careful not to bust the gut pocket and stuff like that. But hit them pretty hard where they're going to bleed and not die instantly. Don't hit them up on top of the head or anything. Just beat them up and down the body real good
from what
and
I've seen, even if you hit that fish in the head, probably with any bat or crowbar upside the head, you're probably not going to kill it. I mean, I watched we watched a guy bring one in that had been hit by a prop and an entire half of his head was completely missing, and he said this fish was swimming down the river.
Wow.
I mean,
Well,
it was bad.
they're a terrible pain to deal with when we're fishing, especially in the summertime. But boys, they're here to stay. We're not ever going to get rid of them. So if they're good bait, and I believe them to be, we might as well utilize this stuff.
yeah, Ryan Casey said there's an excellent bait, and he's been pretty much using it for a go-to bait here recently, from what I heard in one of his posts, and he's having really good success with them.
I
Well,
wonder if he's preparing them a special way at all. I mean, that'd be a good subject if we could ever get Ryan to come on and talk about that a little bit and some of the other things. What's that?
we had him on,
Oh yeah.
but I'm
Well,
sure we'll get him back on now.
yeah, get him
Here's
back
the
on
thing.
again.
Here's the thing that I've noticed about Asian carp, and this may be changing with the amount of them that the catfish are eating. For a long time, the Asian carp was the hotter the temperature was, and the water temperature and air temperature, the better they worked. But for a long time, there was just a very few people that even tried the damn things. Nobody wanted to use them. They nasty. They get in your boat. They hog it all up. They bleed all over thing. They stink. Nobody would use them. But a few of us used them for quite some time. And now I understand that, like he was saying with Ryan's post, and a few other people are using them more year-round than they ever did before. But they are right now a food source for these catfish, and they are going to continue to be. So the more of them that's there, the more of them they're going to eat. That's the only natural defense in the river system against them is basically blues and flatheads, maybe an occasional channel cat that gets a big proportional size, but that's the only natural defense we've got against these things. And when until they get too big for them to eat, they're going to gorge up on them every chance they get. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah. And I mean, even when you have the DNR talking about how the baby shad versus the baby Asian carp basically are identical. I mean, they're almost indistinguishable between each other. So I
Yeah.
guarantee that the catfish you swimming along see the baby Asian carp, they don't care. It's food.
I really think on my water that I fish most of the time it's they go by smell. They can't see them things 5 inches in front of them.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
all the time.
But what I'm curious about is if maybe Casey might be, and this is something that I would probably experiment with too if I started using them a lot more, um, is skin on and skin off. You know, basically taking just the meat and using just the meat on a hook. I know it would come off easier, but it might put off more oil, more scent that way. And then also like I've talked about. Like my sushi rolls, things like that with a shad, where I put the skin out. I almost wonder if sometimes the texture, when a fish comes along and bites on it, sometimes they're wanting a softer texture than a harder texture, and that invokes more of a feeding bite, or I don't really know. So
That could very well be one of the things that is most impressive about Asian carp to me. Not only the fact that it actually works compared to a lot of other stuff, is they got the toughest skin in the world. And once you hook through that skin, it probably ain't coming off till you take it off. I mean, it's just really leather-like, and I've had problems on times with a shad once in a while coming off and skipjack once in a while coming off. You got to take that Asian carp off. It's not just going to come off.
that's a problem, though, man. It is so tough. I feel like I'm doling my hook putting it on, man.
Well, what we use is, you ever seen them old catfish skinning pliers that you buy for $3 or $4 someplace?
Yep.
That's what we use. And what I do is I grab hold of that old bait when I want to take it off, and I jerk it on that hook and stretch the hole, and then take it off and throw it away. Because the skin on them is just so tough that's about the only way I figured out that's easy to get them on and off.
Huh.
But yeah, you don't like Brian says, you're not going to lose the bait because it come off your hook. It's just tough, and if I was ever going to use a spray-on type bait enhancer or something you dip them in or anything, I'd use it on that. And I've noticed that it holds its scent for an extremely long period of time. You could, if it's been out in the water for 30 minutes, just pick it up and smell it. You can still, if you can smell it, just think how potent that is to the fish. But if I was going to try something, it would be on something like that stays on the hook good,
Yep. Rob Klopfelder said that he was going to post a video of him singing the Michael Jackson song "Just Beat It" while beating an Asian carp. That's what he said.
He's got to wear a white glove. He just got to do it.
And he said he might even wear a bikini. I don't know. Wearing a whisker-wearing bikini while singing the Michael Jackson song "Just Beat It" while beating up an Asian carp on his boat. He's gonna post a video.
Harlan says kitchen scissors for cutting that Asian carp off your hook. That's a great idea, Glenn. Thank you.
Yeah, those small handheld pruning shears is what I use to even, cut all the fins off of the carp, and you can really cut them big tough fish up good with those handheld pruning shears. They'll cut about anything.
Rob just basically confirmed it. He said definitely be looking for that on Facebook.
Now, what my question about this whole thing is, are you and Rob going to go at a beauty type contest thing about wearing them bikinis and tops, or what?
No.
So we know from last week, we knew that the deal between you and him had been made about you wearing one. Now you're saying that he's also agreed. So we're going to have a competition here?
I don't think I can compete with the "Just Beat It" song. I'm not a very good singer. If it was purely fashion, maybe, purely sexiness, I'm sure that, I'd have a chance now.
Oh, man.
What, they're playing the Madonna Vogue song?
Yeah, we might be offline here just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're hitting the end here. I guess as far as the and what somebody else was saying about the Asian carp, they said that Nick Goodall said the Illinois State Fair had Asian carp corn dogs and that they were really good. Ron Streeter also said a good way to prepare them is to smoke them, which I have a smoker, so it's something that I could try as well. And I've always wondered. I've heard about it. I've never tried it. Have you guys ever tried fish jerky?
No, I've
No.
never have. I've heard of it. I just, you know, if something don't sound good to me, it's hard for me to try something, and that just doesn't sound that good to me.
Glenda, I think you're the only one. You're the only one in the world.
Glenda, you're gonna have to come back. That's too funny. Yeah, I can't imagine that you would want to see Rob and Chris in them ladies' underwear swimsuit type thing. I just can't imagine that.
All right. Well.
Yeah. By the way, I know Glenda's been online with us a couple of times before, but you guys that are looking for somebody to make some beautiful trophies, get a hold of Glenda McFarland. She makes some of the most wonderful stuff you could ever imagine.
Like tournament trophies, or what kind of trophies?
Tournament trophies and all kinds of stuff. They're absolutely gorgeous. She does a bang-up job, and it's very professionally done. And she does a lot for fishing guys and tournaments and different things all over the United States. So give her a shout sometime.
Good deal. Well, I think we've about got a full show together. If you guys want, Chuck, you want to start off on the your closing arguments.
No, I just like to thank everybody for getting on chat and joining in with us tonight, and all the people viewing live. It's really good y'all getting on here watching us, and for Justin and Tabitha, appreciate them coming on and sharing their thoughts with us, and I'm gonna try to get out the next couple of weeks and do me a little bit of fishing. This is my favorite time of the year, and I can't wait until a month from now when we're on Wheeler.
All right, get out there and find out where the skipjack or the shad are at, and let everybody know so we can go down there and catch some fish.
I don't know if I'm gonna head all the way up to Wheeler or not. I may go up one weekend, but I'm just gonna try to stick close within 50 miles or so and just fish around a little bit, see if I can catch some larger fish on these reservoirs that I hadn't caught any out of yet. It's always good to beat my personal best on these other small little rivers and reservoirs around the area.
All right, Lyle.
Well, I want to thank Justin Tabitha for coming on, and I know that it was kind of a hassle with everybody trying to watch the show and the feedback we had, but we'll get them back on. We'll get them problems worked out when they get their new computer up and going and their webcam going, and we'll make it better than the next time, because I know there were some people that probably had some more questions to ask them, and it was really great of them to come on. We've been working on this for about a month and finally made it happen, but the other thing that I wanted to mention is next week, next Monday night, we're supposed to have Rob from Whiskerware on here, and I know I'm looking forward to having him on the show, and I'm sure a lot of other people are. He does so much for the sport. He's a genuine good guy, and I think it'll be really interesting to visit with him and discuss catfishing and Whiskerware apparel and a few other things. So I'm excited about having him on here with us.
All right. Before I get going, I want everybody that's on the live chat and on our webpage and everything if you notice, I talked about some design changes that were coming and some of the things that. Excuse me. Anyway, some of the things that we were going to be changing up. The background, if you notice, there's a gray whiskerware. It says "Get your catfish on." That's just one of the extra things we wanted to do for Rob. I sort of made that picture and everything, and I want to see what you guys think of it. If you guys like it, let me know. I tried to make it almost look cut out of the background, a 3D cutout kind of image. And we, all of us, we talked about it. We like it and everything. So If just if you guys like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know that too. Um, we want the site to be visually appealing for people and not hurt your eyes or anything like that, and look good. So let us know if you like that. Also, some of the super fans, I think I've got about 4 or 5 of them. They've heard the few of the intros that we've had made. We had a lot of good feedback on them. As far as everybody's individual choice, it's sort of been scattered all over the place. So um, it's all right. I mean, we've got one that we're thinking we're going to use, and we might end up using all 3 of them. Uh, who really knows? I know right now we're looking at one of them to use for the most part. Um, Vince, I know you were talking about getting your logo made up. Get with me. I might be able to help you get that done and get your ad up on the site. I know you paid for it, and I won't start until we get your ad actually up on there. So as soon as we get that up there, we'll get you set up. Um, like the other guys have said, thanks for Tabitha and Justin to come on the show, the Catfishing duo. Hopefully we can get you on again. I know sometimes with a laptop computer, what happens is that when we talk, we're coming out of their speakers, and then their microphone that's built in and their speakers that are built in, it doesn't work out all that well. It ends up hearing each other, and you end up getting like a double talk going. And I believe that's the situation we had. I don't understand why it didn't start off doing it and then worked into it as we went on, but it happened, and we just went on with it. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get them on again and fix it. Um, Rob's got a red wig apparently. He's gonna be the redhead, and I'm gonna put my blonde one on.
Oh, baby.
But yeah, remember on the Catfish contest, or the Catfish Weekly contest, the Christmas contest that we have going on right now, that the people who are super fans, the $10, I mean that's all it is $10, and you get all kinds of things that make it worth way more than $10. You get the double entries into the contest. So all the people who are super fans right now into that contest, they get an extra entry into the contest for a year, and that doesn't end at the end of this year. It actually is 1 year from when you sign up as a super fan. So you don't have to worry about signing up and having to sign up again in 20 days or something like that. So um, definitely, if I've talked about it before, but if you don't know what all the benefits are of the superfan thing, you can go to the superfan package. You can go to catfishweekly.com/forum. In there's a news section. You look in that, you'll see the superfan. It shows you everything you get. The discount on the Black Horse custom rod, the discount on the Whisker Wear apparel, all kinds of things. The double entries. Right now we have 40 people signed up. Like I said, those people that I highlighted, basically put a little mark next to their name. If you can go through, we really want you guys to post feedback for us. We don't want, and I won't put you in the contest if you just post on there something to the effect of "you guys are great" and that's it. That's not what we're looking for. We want actual feedback that helps us determine the things that we're doing right and the things that you'd like to see us do, and help to improve the show. So if you can, go back to that thing, even if you post something before and you don't feel like yours might have been very helpful, or we don't, like I said, I put your name on there with that little mark and you've seen it, then, go back and give us something that we can actually use to help us a little bit. We want to have as many people in this contest as possible. We want to be, really have a huge contest and let everybody be eligible for it. Um, but we do want to have it help us in a way that is actually helpful for us. So, the advertisements, you know what those are. The Tri-State Shootout, I believe the registration's open for that, and I think you could get a hold of Vince Nadowski for that. The Tri-State Shootout will be held at Tanner's Creek in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. I forget the date on it, but I know Vince told me about that. I believe also, if you guys wanted to, you can probably start, like for the Ironman, probably start getting a hold of Chad for that as well. And I do know Monsters on the Ohio is open too for the registrations on that. So if you want to get in the first 50, I think he has like 30 or so registrations on Monsters on the Ohio. So you only got 20 spots for you get free T-shirt on the monsters.
Oh, and by the way, Chris, that T-shirt, the one that we got last year, it has your name on the front of it, and it has a list of entry people that are entered on the back. So it's not just the regular Monsters of Ohio T-shirt. It's a special T-shirt.
Are you sure?
Mine does.
Has your name on the front?
Yes.
Huh. I didn't think mine did. I know I got
Well, he
one.
just may have told you a bone. I don't know.
A empty picked off bone.
Mine has my name on the front. Cindy's has her name on the front of hers.
Huh. Okay. Well, Vince did say that the Tri-State Shootout is May 9th, so you'll have until then. Probably, I don't know if they'll cut off the registrations beforehand, but you can get a hold of him for that. I believe that's all I have for you guys. I'm looking forward to having Rob on next week. And again, thanks to Tabitha and Justin for coming on tonight. Wish them the best going on in their catfishing careers. All right, thank you guys, everybody. I'll look to see you guys all here. Everybody that came in the chat, thank you. Also, look to see you hopefully back next week. But until then, make sure everybody just stays out of my spot.